Good morning. Shalom.
Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Jewess.
So I'm Heather Gold. I'm here on the West Coast.
I'm Katie Halper. I'm here on the East Coast, New York City. And good morning to all of our watchers, Jews and Gentiles alike. We're inclusive. Let's talk about some news items, shall we?
Yeah, here we like to ask, whatever we pay attention to in the news, and is it good for the Jews? It's like a morning show, an honest morning show.
We look at the news, is it good for the Jews, and share our views, regardless of reviews. Okay, wow, that was made up on the spot. You'd think it took a lot of anticipation, but no.
No.
But it's the morning, so why don't we actually start with something a little bit more morning-ish and talk about porn.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't know if you know about this, Heather, but 4 porn actors have been tested as HIV positive. And they passed some ordinances in LA saying that porn stars should be forced to wear condoms.
Oh, it was a proposition, right?
Yeah. There's this organization that's called the Free Speech Coalition, and they're kind of like a porn industry lobbying group. Yeah. And they don't want people to wear condoms. They prefer the kind of catch can, in both senses of the word, HIV testing. So it's not so much about preventing the transmission of diseases as it is about knowing that you've already contracted it, which is an interesting approach. These porn companies claim that the actors are allowed to wear condoms if they want to, but this one porn star, Cameron Bay, who was the first one to come out as HIV positive, said that she thinks she contracted it when she was working with a co-star on a porn who had a cut on his penis. I don't know how that happened, and was bleeding. And they kept filming because she said that if she had said, "Hey, can we take a minute and maybe like put a condom over the bleeding penis that's about to enter various orifices of mine," she would have been replaced. And I've heard the argument that customers don't like people wearing condoms in their porn, which is why I think if you had a industry-wide policy, people would have nowhere else to go. They'd be forced to watch condom full porn.
I don't know. I mean, as far as my memory, when the proposition happened, is that the sex worker and porn people that I was hearing from or following their tweets or whatever weren't against it. They wanted to be free to choose whatever they wanted to do.
They do, but then when
I think they felt like it was regulated and tested and whatever, and they knew kind of what they were getting into.
Yeah, but I mean, not surprisingly, the ones who contract HIV think it's a bad policy and a dangerous policy.
I don't know how much it affects additional money they make independently.
Oh, like from the independent porn scene?
Well,
the Sundance of porn?
No, more like Pornster, right? More like Napster of porn. Like, it just seems to me that that's what the general direction for media is to have direct relationships with your audience and to try to make more money that way.
Right.
And that, if people can do better directly than they do through some.
So you're saying even if they had a standard in porn, it wouldn't really help because there would always be that demand for condom-free porn?
There's a demand for amateur porn. I don't know. I guess I'd want to hear it from people. I mean, my main concern in the whole thing is I think it's sexier. I'm trying to think about Jewier. What would be Jewy about it? You could go either way. Sort of, there's been plenty of Jews involved in the industry. In fact, I think James Dean is a porn star, and I think he's Jewish.
I know he's a porn star. Not sure if he's Jewish.
And I think he opposed this. I don't know. Google. Listen, people, we're as uninformed as everybody on the other morning shows. We're just honest about it.
Right.
So I don't know.
That's what's unique about us. It's what makes us unique, not our level of uninformedness, but our honesty about it. We embrace it.
We're out of the Jewy closet, unlike so many other shows.
Forget the whole rabbinical tradition of being intellectual and knowing your shit.
I mean, the thing is that whole thing, like, how free are you really to choose?
Right.
I mean,
that's the thing with capitalism,
that's a workplace issue for lots of us. I mean, to what degree, this connects to this other thing I saw in the news. That Israel has decided to pay students scholarships to go online and defend Israel.
They need to
in
pay people?
their
I thought that they'd have the Hasbara industry covered.
Hasbara.
Isn't that the Israeli propaganda?
I don't know the name,
I
the
think
word.
so.
Someone can tell us. If you have to pay people, it's a pretty. It's so
You're shocked.
hilarious. It's sort of the ultimate hilariousness because it's its own test of how failing everything is that you're
Right.
doing. If you have to do this, but you can't even see that, and
Right.
that you think. I mean, you know who else does a lot of like concerted enforcement online of people's opinions of them is the Church of Scientology.
Oh
You
yeah, I
know,
know that because I wrote a post once that was critical of Scientology on
you heard
feministing,
from
and I heard from
right.
all these people who were like, "Where's your nuance about Scientology?" I was
Right,
like,
right.
"Really?"
Well, that's what people would say about Israel too, right? Like, how come
Right.
you're so bad to everybody else? I mean, the thing is, young Jews like us would be defending Israel, and some probably are, if what they were doing was defensible. Similar with the porn thing. The
At the end of the
like,
day, Israel and porn do often go hand in hand.
well, as many, it's interesting how much our topics are going to be similar to what the conspiracy theorists are sure Jews are
Right.
about.
I know. We talked about this last week. I think running the world and being perverted.
Just
But
the idea of are you free to say what you want, or is
right,
it because you're being paid you kind of have to say the certain
or is
thing
it
because that's
because
how I'm paying
right,
for college? So do I
like the
really get to
army?
do I really get to, require the guy I'm doing to wear a condom in this
Right.
film, or do I have to,
Right.
not
Well, I think
really?
it goes back to a lot of the myths about capitalism and the free market and the idea that, everything sorts itself out. And it's kind of this libertarian argument that everything will work itself out. And that's just not true.
So, I mean, is Israel paying people to defend, young Jews to defend Israel? Is that good for Jews?
Pretty
No,
bad.
it's
And it's also,
ridiculous.
I mean, are they paying them in like shekels? They are. What could be more like protocols of Zion than the Israelis literally paying young Jews to defend the
I
state of
have
Israel?
this. The ironic thing is, I have this bit where I say, I have these jokes about Jews needing to reinvent ourselves and how your parents would be like, whatever you're into, sweetie, spoon collecting, bondage, that's great as long as you do it in Israel and
Right.
Haifa, and then we'll pay for it,
Right.
right?
The only way that they could get even more successful is if they offered Jews, instead of paying them, if they offered us baby Christian blood, then I think there'd be a huge outbreak of pro-Israel propaganda.
But so I don't think that's good. And the porn thing, is that bad for, is it bad? It's bad for anybody that
Right.
people are getting HIV. Is it good for Jews? Probably, for sure,
Probably bad because
Jews are going to get blamed for it.
well, right.
For
Well, and also I'm sure there are lots of high up Jews in the industry, so they're infecting the world with HIV
porn,
now.
medicine, illness, a Jew's going to get blamed.
Interesting. You see, they kind of cancel each other out because if they're creating HIV, they're also creating scientists to help cure it. And I'm sure a lot of Jewish doctors are like, they should be wearing condoms. Oi. Moving on, let's move from porn. I think this is a pretty natural segue from porn to the papacy. And the Pope, Francesco, as I like to call him, is making some waves because he's actually coming out as kind of a compassionate, more Jesus Christ-like Pope and less of a total inversion of Christianity. Of course, that's my reading.
Less of a I was in a Hitler Youth kind of Pope.
Exactly. He said one of his favorite movies is La Strada by Fellini, and that is not the movie that a conservative, angry, hateful person likes. You know that, like, I bet, like, Benedict's was, like, Birth of a Nation or something.
Are you kidding me? You know that his favorite movie was like Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, that guy.
Oh, that's funny. He was asked if he approved of homosexuality, and he responded with another question, which is very Jewy, actually. Tell me, when
is
God...
he the Jewish Pope?
I think so, the joke. He said, tell me, when God looks at a gay person, does he endorse the existence of this person with love or reject and condemn this person? I think that's a leading question. The answer is obviously the former. And he said...
I'm glad you nerdily felt the need to respond to the question you posed.
I should have responded with another question. We must always consider the person. In life, God accompanies persons, and we must accompany them starting from their situation. It is necessary to accompany them with mercy. When that happens, the Holy Spirit inspires the priest to say the right thing. I like that. And he said that the church is going to fall and collapse like a house of cards if the church stays like really focused on narrow issues like abortion and homosexuality, which he thinks that they're a little obsessed with.
He just said that?
Yeah, let me find the actual. He said literally.
Really?
Yeah, I'll quote you.
How
He
did they
said,
end up with this? Okay,
I
how
don't
did
know how he got
somebody
through.
all sane end up to be Pope?
I don't know.
How did he hide these beliefs from
He probably
everyone?
put
What
in his. You know
happened?
what I think happened? He's from Argentina. He probably put in his resume that he had served. He had done some stuff since Benedict got in with the Hitler Youth. I think that he probably had something about working with the Argentine junta and helping disappear people, and they probably were impressed by that, and they let him be the Pope.
Or maybe they're changing. You think like all the gay rights stuff that's changed around the world is affecting internally the incredible number of repressed homosexuals in the
Maybe.
inside the priesthood?
He said, we cannot insist only on issues related to abortion, gay marriage, and the use of contraceptive methods. That is not possible. The teaching of the church, for that matter, is clear, and I'm a son of the church, but it is not necessary to talk about these issues all the time.
This is as amazing as having some high-profile conservative Jews say that Jewish Americans need to not be obsessed with Israel and defending it. That is, I'm shocked.
Me
I
too.
can't believe it. It's like a pope a Jew could love.
Yeah, well, Jews like us, yeah.
He's gonna make his stuff like more appealing
I know,
than
he is.
that. Like we're gonna have to really work on pastrami or whatever we got to keep us around because. Well, I mean, we have.
Porn.
There's like a kind of hipster youth, younger spiritual Jewishness kind of happening, I think. This Pope is better for the Jews than Israel paying.
That should be our standard every show.
To go to college.
That should be our standard on every show. Is this better for the Jews than Israel paying young people to blog about them?
This is like pretty great news for us.
I mean, this is great news for everyone.
We'll have converts from Catholicism who are leaving because they're like, listen.
That's okay. I'll take one for the team. I'm willing to do that. I can't believe I went to bed in earrings and woke up in my earrings. That's so weird. I hate when that happens.
Really? I can't believe you're eating pop chips and you're sleeping in earrings.
Oh, wait, I don't know about the pop chips.
It's the last thing before we go.
Right,
if you want to see something really sad, go onto YouTube and look for their old. They did a commercial. I believe it involved Ashton Kutcher in brownface.
Oh, I remember
pretending
that. I'm not going to stop eating pop chips because of that.
East Indian, and it was incredibly racist, ridiculous. And
I actually thought you were going to tell me it was made in the settlements. I'm not kidding. That's what I thought you were going to tell me. That pop chips were made in the settlements. And I was like, oh, I was prepared to leave it for that. I'm prepared to forgive them having racist ads and using Katy Perry as a spokeswoman. Both of those things I can overlook.
I don't know. I'm pretty. They never made amends.
Oh,
they never ended up, as far as I know.
They need to celebrate Yom Kippur, y'all. Is it Yom Kippur or Rosh Hashanah?
Advertiser Yom Kippur is where you total, which was just last weekend, which I did.
Oh yeah,
it was like my best.
You go to this.
It was my best Yom Kippur ever. I'd never gone through the whole thing. It was like an ultra marathon. I did the whole thing. I went services. It was great. I really liked it. But you get kind of a little like high when you haven't eaten for a whole day, and then you're singing. By the end of it, everything's great.
Right.
It worked. Good design for good feeling people. So, that's our day.
Too, the landmark forum. So yeah, this was great. I feel a lot Jewier than I did, last night. So we went through some stories. We learned a lot, and we'll be back next week.
Good for the Jews.
It's a good week for the Jews.
Pop chips, you think, are still okay for the Jews?
I'm gonna endorse pop chips.
We're split down. Bad for Jews.
I would go like this to this. Neutral.
No. Cake. Always cake. Okay.
Are you gonna eat cake instead of pop chips?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought that was an expression. Like that's mad cake, yo.
No, that's like my option of what Jews
I would do ice cream. I will see you next week.
See you next week.
Nice to see you.
Yeah.